Hello and welcome everybody to the Super Mario World 96 Exit Championship. I am your host for this race, aweglib. We got a humdinger of a race today. We've got authorblues and Silverstar, our 16 and 17 seed. These guys' PBs are separated by a mere 2 seconds. So this is going to be a really good match. Both of these runners have been on a bit of a break from this game as well, so it's going to be really interesting to see kind of where they're at and what they're capable of. Looks like both of our runners are readying up, so we should be kicking off very shortly here. And looks like they are off. So we shouldn't see a whole lot of separation in this first world. Most of the Yoshi's Island stage is pretty straightforward, especially for runners of this caliber. Really not going to see anything too crazy from these two. We might see some fun little swag here and there, but overall should be good. Look at that sink. It's beautiful. Nice box jump there for both runners. This is kind of one interesting thing to see is there's kind of a few perfectly fine ways to go through Y3, but you get to see kind of different runners with their take on it. See off electing for a few more spin jumps, Silverstar going with some more full jumps. Again, nothing really different in these two, as you see they're just still staying perfectly synced, but it's kind of cool to see what different runners decide to go with for their jumps. Moving into Y4 here, it looks like both runners deciding to not even try the shell jump, both just spin jumping right on it and moving on. It's one tiny little time save you could see, but is pretty difficult to do, so both of our runners just opting to play it a little safer and just go for the exit normally. All right, both of our runners are about to enter into Iggy's Castle. Now, the reason that they didn't pick up any of the midways earlier is for a couple of these jumps at the beginning are a little bit easier to do as small Mario. So they don't pick up the mushroom in order to make those pretty easy. That one especially right there is a lot easier to do as small Mario. But they will be picking up this midway here to get a mushroom, and then in the auto-scroller they'll be picking up a fire flower in order to kill Iggy quickly. It's like solid kills from both runners. 241 on the timer for both. So going blow for blow in Yoshi's Island, not very surprising. But we'll start to see some variation here, probably in Donut Plains. One thing that's interesting to watch here is the routes that each of these runners will take. You basically go through Donut Plains twice in the 96 exit route, once the first time in, and then another time after you beat Special World. So it's kind of going to be interesting to see which route through these guys will take. Obviously, the routes will sync up by the time they go through it a second time, But there's a lot of different variations on going through this Donuts plane the first time. A lot of it's based on either stages you do or don't want to do, or stages that you might want to save till later. There's RTA viable, or more RTA viable strats, more race safe strats, so it's going to be really interesting there. We do see Silverstar with a little bit of trouble picking up that cape. That is going to give Auth just a very, very slight lead early on here. So both runners grabbing the secret exit, and they'll be heading into Donut Secret 1. I know in his normal PB attempts, Auth has been going for Donut Secret House early, just to get those consistent boo rings. I'm not sure what Silverstar will do, but I wouldn't be shocked if he does the same thing. So both runners grabbing that red shell actually saves just a slight bit of time to go into that sub-level, grab the red shell, and then use it to swim. You swim twice as fast when you're hanging on to an item, so both runners grabbing that so they can swim twice as fast that area, then grabbing the P-switch to keep that speed. It looks like a 2:51 on the timer for both of them as they make their way out of Donut Secret 1. So Silverstar electing to go to the Donut Ghost House here right away. Auth doing the same. And it looks like they're both going for the secret exit. Silverstar, oh, he did get it there, okay. Looked like he had trouble for a second, but I looked over at Auth and then looked back at Silverstar and it was at a different spot, so I got a little confused there, but yeah, both of them having perfectly normal exits here. So we'll see what exit these guys decide to go for next. Looks like Auth is going to go back into Donut Ghost House, where Silverstar are going back to Donut Secret 1. So Silverstar is going to take a slightly different route from Auth here. Auth going with a, I think this is kind of like the traditional route, so to speak. Whereas Silverstar is going to go towards Donut's Secret House first. One of the advantages of the Donut Secret House first route is it does give you that consistent boo ring for the beginning of that stage, whereas Auth won't be getting that stage until later when the boo rings might be a little different. But I believe overall... Oh, okay, looks like Auth is going down to Donut. So he might have just accidentally entered into Donut Ghost House again. Yeah, I thought maybe Auth was going to go for early wings. He might have... Yeah, I think he maybe just kind of... Or maybe he just decided to change his mind. That isn't really a big time loss. It's going to look a little different, but I mean, that's one less exit he'll have to do second time through. As you see Silverstar moving through Donut Secret House now. Yeah, looking over at Auth's screen, he's got level splits, and he's just skipped all the way down to Green Switch Palace. So either just an accidental entrance into that stage, or something happened there. But looks like he's back on the route he wants to be here. The early do all of World 2 route. Hot new route. I like that little crouch there from Silverstar as he finishes off King Boo. So it's going to look like for quite some time here that Silverstar is actually ahead, but overall I think it's still pretty close right now. I haven't seen any major mistakes from either runners, so should be a pretty close match. It just won't look that way for the next half hour or so, unless any runner makes a mistake here. Okay, Auth is, yeah, okay. I see what Auth, okay, so Auth just mentioned in the chat. So if he has a path back to top secret area, should he mess up early on. So he does that extra exit, so that he doesn't have to walk through like all of the map again to get around. So yeah, without having to go back in the pipe. So it was on purpose, just not on his splits. So like we mentioned, again, not really a lot of time loss because, you know, Silverstar is going to eventually have to do that exit. So it's just going to look like for a while that Silverstar is having a pretty big lead. So we see Auth finishing off the second exit of Donut Secret House, while Silverstar finishes up Donut Secret 2. Auth re-entering the pipe to make sure that he cleared both those exits, or, you know, whatever. That looks like a nice Donut Plains 3 from Silverstar. This is another stage you kind of just fly over. There's a few stages like that in the 96 exit route, but there's plenty more stages where there's tons of action in them, so. So now we'll see a little bit more flying as Silverstar makes his way into DP4 and Auth makes his way through DP3. I did mention at the beginning of the broadcast, but these runners' PBs are actually only separated by 2 seconds. But something else interesting to note, both of these runners have been on a bit of a hiatus from the game, especially Auth. He hasn't played in really until the start of this tournament in about 2 years or so. So it's really cool to see him coming back and trying his best to get back into the swing of things. Silverstar did run No Cape, No Star World at a recent GDQ, but then has been taking a little bit of a break also. So it'll be really interesting to see what these guys are capable of if they can kind of get back to where they were before. So we see Silverstar picking up a Yoshi. That's going to come into play in the next stage, but coming up on his Morton fly here. Some precise movement to gain his speed, and then he's going to move into this pipe and move back out to get out of the bonus area. But then this stage right here, very important to really manage your horizontal momentum while flying upwards in order to keep that P-speed. Helps you save a couple of cycles over the normal strats here in Morton's. It looks like Silverstar has done pretty well here. We'll see if he can get this spring right where he wants it to bounce off of it. Yeah, very, very nice Morton room there from Silverstar. So, Koopa Kids, some of the Koopa Kids like Morton and Ludwig take either 10 fireballs or 3 jumps, but they kind of overlap a little bit. So Silverstar shot 2 fireballs and then jumped on Morton once, and that killed him. That's the fastest way to get through the bosses that are like that. There's some other bosses that are a little different, but a few of them like that can be taken out just like that. So we'll see how Auth does on his Morton fly here. Looks like he just caught that ledge there, but he's keeping it nicely. Grabs his fire flower. He's got the spring. Very nice placement as well. So really good World 2s from both runners. As mentioned, Silverstar looks like he's got a lead right now, but he does have one less exit than Auth does, so that'll even out as they re-enter Donut Plains 2 in a little bit. So Silverstar coming up on wings here. This is a really important and interesting trick. So actually you want to get 4 of those blocks spinning at one time, and then you grab that dragon coin, and that's going to make kind of a weird block. And then he's going to dupe this block again, and it should hopefully spawn out some Yoshi wings. And if he does that, it's obviously very much faster than beating the stage normally. Looks like he's having problems getting this dupe. This is pixel perfect. He does get it there though. So 351 wings for Silverstar, not too shabby. We'll see how Auth does, see if he can replicate or do even better. And Silverstar is going to be coming up on another important skip here. He's going to actually try to clip into this corner with this Yoshi. And oh, he drops his Yoshi, so he's going to have to go around here. So this will be a little bit of a time loss, and we get Auth with very nice 367 wings, so he definitely is making up some time here. Oh, and Silverstar loses his cape. There is going to be another one up here, so he can get this back. But Auth has a chance to make up a big chunk of time, take a really nice early lead if he can get this Yoshi clip. So this is actually pixel perfect, and then you're kind of hoping that Yoshi has a correct sub-pixel position in order for you to get in. And looks like Auth gets in. So we see Silverstar just finally getting to that secret exit, whereas Auth with that Yoshi clip and Faster Wings has got it now. So Auth is essentially an entire stage ahead at this point. So both of our runners moving into red switch cape. This is the first of 4 switches that you have to hit, as they're all considered exits. You see no jump, no yump for Silverstar, no yump for authorblues either. Yump's super important trick. You have 1 frame to re-jump off of the switch. It doesn't save any time, but it looks so cool. So now runners re-entering Vanilla Dome 2, going to get the normal exit this time. And we see them using those Buzzy Beetles to hang on to something in order to swim faster. That's really some of the main tech in these swimming stages, is to have something hanging on to and using it, and as well as your cape spins to kind of keep on that and keep your speed as fast as you can. Because when you don't have anything you're hanging on to, you swim very, very slowly. We see Auth having a little bit of an interesting time with that chuck, but gets through it. And get nice sticky fly there from Silverstar. And we get it from authorblues as well. Reminder, SMW Central considers sticky fly to be a task-only trick, so both of our runners clearly cheated and are disqualified. Listen, you all talk about your T-poses. It's all about the yump. Alright, yump will never die. So both of our runners moving into Vanilla Ghost House. We see Silverstar trying to go for Dirty Eerie. authorblues getting it. So you have, I think it's 3 frames on Dirty Eerie to get your speed and jump without having to crouch underneath that Eerie. Two frames, thank you. I knew it was not a whole lot, so pretty nice there. Both of our runners are going to try to grab this P switch and keep their flight speed as they move over towards the door and to the exits. So both runners moving into Vanilla Dome 3. This is a very technical stage early on. A lot of things are going to be happening, managing their P meter, their flight speed, in order to skip over a lot of these skeleton raft sort of things. See, Silverstar does get his speed a little later. Oh, but he loses it. Okay. Ooh, they're very close there. He got back on. That was quite close. I think Auth got it right away there, so looks like he's going to be the first into the pipe. And now coming up on a very important section here, there's a couple of different strats to get through this section. One of them known as Raft Skip, another known as Yoshi Skip. But contrary to popular belief, Yoshi Skip involves getting the Yoshi. Looks like Auth is going to be going for just the regular Yoshi Skip here. Silverstar looking like he's doing the same. Oh no, he is going for a slightly slower skip there. Oh, and Auth lost his speed. So we see Silverstar able to keep his flight speed maintained this whole time, so he's going to get through that section a little faster than Auth did. But Silverstar having a little trouble here, kind of getting through that last section. Didn't get up to the top very cleanly, but does make it out. Auth also getting out. So a 3:10 timer for Silverstar, 3:13 for Auth, so a little quicker for authorblues there. And then moving into Vanilla Dome 4 now. Pretty straightforward stage. You basically just manage your flight, land on stuff, jump again, keep flying. Reminder that one-tile jumps are free. So Auth actually getting a 2:59 on the timer. I think Silverstar had a little bit of a slower P-speed get. So Auth has made up quite a bit of this, like, quote-unquote gap that he had from just doing an extra stage in Donut Plains. So these runners very close moving into Lemmy's, meaning Auth has a pretty comfortable lead so far, but there's tons of race left to go. This is a category that takes about an hour and 23, 24 minutes, so the first 19, 20 minutes aren't going to decide a race. So moving through this semi-auto scroller, room 2 of Lemmy's. There's a couple of spots where you can skip some cycles, but overall it's pretty much straightforward. Silverstar gets in there cleanly, Auth about to do so as well. Now there's 3 hits. This is random where Lemmy will show up, so you kind of just gotta watch the pipes and find him right away. Both runners with very clean fights there. So Silverstar went for the clip, did not get it. Looks like he finished that about 3 in-game seconds faster, so a little bit of a quicker Lemmy's for Silverstar, but these runners pretty close coming out of World 3. Take this time to note that the runners are both on the Japanese version of the game. The Japanese version has a little bit of faster save dialogues when you enter them. So every save dialogue, like the one you're about to see, comes up a little bit faster on this Japanese version versus the American version. So that's why it's used. I don't remember exactly how much it saves in 96, but it's actually pretty substantial due to how many save dialogues there are. So pretty straightforward level here again. Runner's just going to use Yoshi's ability to just bounce off of saws, pick up the wings, and move on to the next stage. 20-ish seconds, okay, thank you. Yeah, in your shorter categories, it's not as much, but in a category like this where you see a lot of save dialogue, it's very, very, very useful. So we see Auth actually dumping his Yoshi, Silverstar waiting to do this now. He's going to go for a boss kill, which what you see Silverstar doing here is he's setting up some positions in memory, and he's going to try and, yeah, looks like he didn't get it. He's going to try to spawn a boss, and basically he would kill that boss, and the game would think, okay, you completed the level because the boss is dead. But it's very, very precise, requires a lot of precision setups and all that kind of stuff, so Silverstar not getting it, but doesn't cost him too much time. He recognizes it and just kind of clears the stage normally. So now Runner's not going to take a stop in Ludwig's castle. They'll come back to that in a little while. They're going to take the secret exit here and then head through Soda Lake and head on to Star World. Both runners have no trouble flying underneath that goalpost and then onto the regular goalpost. So Soda Lake is a really stage. It's an underwater stage. You do a lot of swimming underneath the bottom of the stage because the game lets you do that, I guess. So why not? But there are a few spots where you kind of have to deal with the enemies and all the bonsai bills flying at you. Especially at the end, it can be pretty scary. Oh, we see off. He bumped into the corner there and took a hit, lost his cape. It doesn't quite figure out where he is to grab that fire flower either. That's going to cost him some time. Shouldn't be too hard for him to get a cape coming up, but yeah, that is going to cost him a little bit here, especially moving into first couple stages of Star World. So, easiest stage in the game coming up. Good old Star World 3 normal. You run to the right, and it just works. Ooh, we got a nice cape parade there from Silverstar. But here we'll see Silverstar make up some time here. He'll be able to just fly up to this top section, whereas Auth will have to kind of do the quote-unquote intended strat in order to get to the secret exit. Each of the Star World stages has a normal exit, which kind of takes you back, and a secret exit. Oh, the cloud got away from Auth there, so he starts selects. Really interesting that happened. I don't know if he just jumped out right away or what, but does get into the cloud the second time. We see Silverstar moving on to Star World 4, though. You do indeed hate to see something like that happen. But now we see Silverstar just flying underneath here. Auth's going to have to take a slightly different route. Looks like he's got some idea what to do here without a cape. And he's taking the shell. I think, he's going to try to dupe this cape. Really nice job there. Duping that block to get 2 capes. Now he can get his flight back and kind of be back on track. We see Silverstar re-entering Star World 4 to get the secret exit this time. So yeah, each stage in Star World has a secret exit and a normal exit. The normal exit takes you back to the star warp that you were just on. The secret exit kind of moves you forward. So throughout most of Star World, you'll get the normal exit first, and then go back and get the secret exit and move on. So Silverstar making his way out of Star World 4 normal. Auth about to re-enter it to do it the same. So I think with that mistake in Soda Lake and the subsequent time spent getting it, we're pretty much neck and neck again. Again, if you're just joining us, Auth did an extra stage early on in Donut Plains, which Silverstar will have to do coming up in a little bit. So although there does look to be a little bit of a disparity right now, it is indeed pretty close between these two. Their routes will kind of sync up once they get back into Donut Plains. Oh, and we see Silverstar flies just a little too low, and he takes the death. Oh, no. Well, luckily he had that backup cape, because he's going to have to use it here. And just like that, our runners are essentially synced again in terms of progress. So, Auth back in the lead. And Silverstar basically has to redo all of Star World 5 normal here. Yeah, pretty risky strat to fly under there. The over strat's a little trickier once you're up top like there, but a bit safer. So Silverstar taking the safer route the second time through. And now we'll see them moving on to Star World 1. This is a stage where a lot of change can happen here. And as you see, our runners are going to try to get 4 blocks spinning and then kind of move Mario into it. And since the game won't have more than 4 of those spinning blocks going at one time, it kind of just pushes Mario down and lets them zip through. We see Silverstar grabbing the secret exit. Might have just been over to the right a little bit. So he's just going to have to walk. Okay, no, he's going straight back. That was intended. So he's going to go straight to Star World 2. Auth's going to finish out the normal exit and then do the secret exit. So again, we'll see a little bit of a divergence in routes, but these 2 spots will link up very, very quickly. So Silverstar grabbing the secret exit of Star World 2, just has the normal exit to do now. And we do have some talks of Yellow Yoshi-chan in the chat. I'm not sure what Silverstar goes for in Star World 5. We'll have to see. Our runners are going to want to have a Yoshi as they exit Star World. But exactly which Yoshi they decide to go for is going to be a little bit up to them. The optimal Yoshi is the yellow Yoshi in Star World 5. But most runners will take a little bit of a safer option and grab the blue Yoshi here. So yeah, Silverstar didn't have an item in his inventory box in order to feed the Yoshi. So he's pretty much going to have to go for that. Meanwhile, Off does have that mushroom, which he'll probably use to feed the blue Yoshi his second time through Star World. So now Silverstar going to wrap up the normal exit of Star World 1. That's a pretty good first zip there. A little trouble getting in that second one. Oh, really nice third zip there from Silverstar. Alright, so both of our runners finishing up their exit just before Star World 5 normal. And we see Oth feeding his Yoshi here, so he's got this blue Yoshi. Silverstar gonna have to get the yellow Yoshi-chan in Star World 5. This is a really cool strat if Silverstar is able to pull it off, so we'll see if he can do it. So we see Oth here. He's gonna have a little bit of an easier time as he can just eat one of these Koopas right away and get that flight with the blue Koopa, or with the blue Yoshi. Silverstar, on the other hand, is going to try and, keep his speed and feed this yellow Yoshi in order to take him into Special World. Oh, and Silverstar just shorts the jump a little bit. Luckily, he does have that first exit, so he selects out really quick. But we do see Oth going to take an actual lead here, moving into Special World. But heads up on Silverstar to notice that and start select out, so he keeps his cape at least. So we're going to see on off screen the reason that they want to enter into Special World with a Yoshi. These first two stages here are going to be hopefully completed with wings. Again, like in Vanilla Dome 1, this is a little bit faster to do. Oh no, Silverstar! Silverstar can't feed his Yoshi. He accidentally drops the mushroom and misses it. So he's going to have to fly up with Yoshi here. This is still possible, as we see Off having some trouble getting these dupes to get the wings. Okay, Silverstar does get up, does take his Yoshi along for the ride. And now we'll see how Silverstar does with his dupes. Silverstar falling down here. Luckily, Yoshi won't despawn, so he's okay here. Oth does finally get that last dupe, so now he's got to spit the shell out at the right spot and gets the wings. Meanwhile, Silverstar has his dupe set up, and oh no, he misses the wings! So now, authorblues moving into Tubular here. And here's another spot where he's going to actually kick this P-switch into this little corner here. He's going to scroll it over so that it spawns wings. I don't really know exactly on all the specifics on that one, but just trust us, it works out. So Silverstar does finally get his way out of the first Special World. Unfortunate there, he had a really solid wing setup, but messed up the spit to actually get the wings. So there's some natural wings in the third stage of Special World, so don't worry, no more cheating for a little bit. Oh, and we see Silverstar bouncing up a little too high and actually hits the P balloon box. So he's going to have to play through Tubular more or less as intended. See authorblues moving through Awesome now. I don't think he goes for Awesome Flower, even though it is free. Also not going for Awesome Reznor Kill, which is a new strat that was found not too long ago. Another one of those like boss kill type strats. Just going to go through the stage normally. As Silverstar does wrap up Tubular. So Silverstar is going to take a little bit of an alternate route. Luckily, there is a Yoshi in this stage, so he's going to grab this Yoshi and then use the wings here. So he should be back on track. Losing the Yoshi there, not the worst thing. In terms of recovery, it does obviously lose some time in Tubular itself, but the recovery is not too bad. See Auth grabbing that Fire Flower and moving on here. Having a pretty solid Special World so far. Did have a little bit of trouble with that first Wings, but overall I think he's having a bit of a better Special World than Silverstar. Oh, Silverstar does indeed grab the Fire Flower. I think he can still set up for awesome Reznor kill here. It looks like he... I'm not sure. Does he have it? No, it looks like he's moving on here. Didn't quite get the setup he wanted. So we see Auth in the meanwhile ditching that Yoshi in order to just fly over this stage. Lots of lag going on in the end of this stage. Like as I mentioned, Yoshi does not despawn, so he actually is still kind of being played around with in memory. But 258, not a bad time there. So finally, a little bit of a respite here in this stage, as it's just a nice simple flyover. For all the craziness, oh, we do see what looks like a good setup here for Groovy Boss Kill for Silverstar, sorry. And yeah, he gets it. Very nicely done there, so that does save a good chunk of time. Superstar, Silverstar. Exactly. That's what I was saying the whole time. I meant to say that. So now the last level of Special World is a bit of a flyover, but you do have to get over a couple of pipes. But overall, pretty straightforward stage. You see that authorblues is indeed super player. So Auth going to be the first one out of Special World. Also does have an extra stage over Silverstar, so pretty comfortable lead so far from Auth. The next kind of section of the run's going to be maybe not as technical as some of the stages we've just seen, but still some spots where you could see some hiccups. But I think Auth is probably going to hang on to this lead for a good chunk of time here. So basically our runners are going to be kind of cleaning up the spots that they didn't get in Yoshi's Island, Donut Plains, and Vanilla Dome the first time around. So kind of just taking that other route through all of those worlds. Yeah, getting the yellow Yoshi allows you to move through the overworld a little bit quicker. And since you're spawning wings right away in the beginning of Special World, you have a blue Yoshi coming out with both. Yeah. So it's a pretty risky strat, as it is a bit harder to pull off, obviously, as we saw Silverstar having a little bit of trouble with it, but is a little bit faster if you are able to pull it off. So Auth moving into the Yellow Switch Palace now, as we see that Silverstar is indeed super player. And we see, again, no Yum for authorblues. We are 0 for 3 between the two of our runners. But it looks like about a 3-stage lead for Auth here, as he's 2 stages ahead normally and does have that extra stage in Donut Plains. That one stage will very shortly be completed by Silverstar, so we'll get a better idea of exactly the kind of lead Auth has once they both get through Donut Plains here. Just some comfy flyover levels going on. How's it going, everybody in the chat? Hope you're having a great night. Hey, that is the schedule command. I think we do have, yeah, we do have another race going on right after this one. Area 51 versus Waldo. That should be another really good race. See Silverstar coming up on the yellow switch. Gets the T-pose. I'm not buying into T-pose, man. I'm not buying into it. I'm still saying Yump is better. Y'all can do your T-poses. I prefer the Yump. But yeah, we've got another race tonight. We got 5 races coming up tomorrow, and another race on Sunday. So very, very busy weekend for the 96 Exit Championship. Oh, the legs. Oh, the legs. See, even if the legs aren't spread, I'm still not buying it. Still not buying it. So you see, building up his P speed here. He's gonna try to maintain it into this pipe and do a pipe fly on his way up. It's gonna save him a little bit of time. About the only thing you can do in that first room to really overall save you time in the auto scroller. It was a little bit of a fun time with that Chuck, but gets up there. Now I'll be moving on to the Green Switch Palace. I know, right, Shady? Like that's what it seems like to me. I think people were just making excuses for being bad at Yums. Like, oh, I got T-pose. No. You get a Yump or you get a Nump. That's how it works. You're 0 for 5 on Yumps. So little swag. Oh, we see Silverstar having a little fun in the auto scroller there. Clips the Buzzy Beetle out of bounds. Luckily for us, this is one of only, what, 3 or 4 auto scrollers in the entirety of this game. Unfortunately, it's a very, very long one, but we'll be out pretty quickly. Looks like Silverstar able to maintain his P speed as well. Gets the pipe fly. Off duping all sorts of blocks his second time through. Truman, I love you. You see Silverstar coming up on the green switch. See if we can get a single Yump today. Unreal. Unreal. I'm beginning to think that these runners don't want to swag at all. So now we see Auth is kind of wrapped up Donut Plains 2 now, so he's just moving straight back into Vanilla Dome 1. And, ooh, not quite able to get red block thing. You can actually get a spin jump, get a spin fly off of that one block and get all the way up there, but pretty solid secret exit overall. So now there's 2 exits here in middle of secret 1. One that leads to that Star Warp, the other that leads onward. So a lot of vertical flying here in Vanilla Secret 1. Just nice little movements to keep that speed going. Looks like Auth is out very nicely. Silverstar again getting the pipe fly. It's a pretty solid Donut Plains 2 for Silverstar. So now he does have that one extra exit he's going to have to do, and then our runners will, at least on their routes, be synced up. So a little bit of a trickier spot here is you have to kind of make your way through that Koopa area, but Auth does it nicely. It looks like a very solid Vanilla Secret 1 normal. So now Silverstar wrapping up that final exit here in Donut Ghost House. And then he'll be on to Vanilla Dome as well to clean that up. So yeah, about a 3 exit lead for Auth as he moves on to the top. So the top route here, gotta say, maybe not the most interesting of spots in the run. You know, it's a little boring. Kind of do a lot of flyovers. Is it three flyovers and a water fortress? Is that what the name of this sitcom is? I forget. So we start losing his speed there, but recovers it just fine. Be up there and he'll be out. Oh, and there's an auto scroller in the way too. Can't forget about that. Can't forget about the auto scroller. So we'll start with a good recovery there. Very nice. Vanilla Secret 1 secret exit for him. Full boss, the most important part of that, that's right. Very, very important here. Saves literal frames. Oh, we see Silverstar losing his cape there. Luckily for him, there's one right in that box. So he's going to have to time this correctly. He does, so he'll be able to get out. And now Auth making his way through Vanilla Fortress. The first fortress of the run. Surprisingly enough. You kind of avoid them for the first 45 minutes, and then you eventually find your way into a fortress. Yeah, the game at that point maybe thinks you don't understand that you need to go right, even though you've been doing that the entire game. So it makes sure that you know to go right. And we see Auth respecting the Thwomp boss. Now I'll be moving on to the mini-boss of the game, Team Reznor. Let's go. Was it a little safe, that fireball? A little bit of a cause for concern, but otherwise, pretty solid. Man, if you were leaving Donut Plains 2, and you're like, dang dude, I'm really sad there's no more auto-scrolling. Well, don't worry. Don't you worry, because we've got a fresh auto-scroller for you. And as much as we joke about how easy and boring this stage is, I have seen runners of all calibers die on this stage, just from not paying enough attention. Farming some lives here for good luck, just in case, you know. Valley Bowser gets hard. Don't blame the guy. See? It's happened before. Both of our runners. This is the top of the top. We only allowed the best 32 runners into this tournament. And we're still seeing people die in Butterbridge Run. It's unreal. And Silverstar also have to respect the Thwomp boss there. As Auth does some fancy little dupes. Ooh! Really nasty fireball there from Reznor. Silverstar having to adjust. Does lose his cape, but there is one in Butterbridge 1, so really not that big of a deal to lose it here. If you're gonna lose your cape, losing it right before Butterbridge 1 is probably the best spot to do it. Ooh, Oth accidentally runs into that Super Koopa. Does lose his flight, but luckily he's pretty close to the end of the Butter Bridge too, so he's just gonna make his way through it. Silverstar also farming up lives. You know, he's taking a death or two, so you know, maybe not the worst idea. Exactly one Butter Bridge, one apart. What a race. So off moving into Ludwig's here. This is kind of a nice little early level to kind of challenge your cape mechanics. You'll see some cape cancels and whatnot. And we'll see what he decides to do here. He decides to keep the cape in the second room. There's a slightly slower strat in which you swap to your Fire Flower here, but it's a little safer. Off does run into the Podoboo, but just cape cancels through it, because cape is a very balanced power-up in this game. And he's on to the third room. Some pretty nice climbing here from Oth. Switches that Fire Flower just as he gets to the top. And now again, this is another boss where just 2 fireballs and a jump, and he's gone. So it looks like a 50-20 whistle for Oth out of Ludwig's. I don't know if that's good or not. It's probably not terrible, right? It's probably okay. But now Oth is going to move into Forest Illusion, where dreams are made, races are won, and all sorts of craziness happens. Silverstar wrapping up Butter Bridge 2, moving on into Ludwig's. So I don't believe Oth goes for FOI 1 wings. It's another one of those dupes that you make wings where you're not supposed to. Yeah, it looks like he's just going to fly through the stage. That one doesn't save a whole lot of time, but some runners do go for it. We do see Silverstar opting for the fire strat there. Not a big surprise. He's a very accomplished no cape, no Star World runner. So probably is very much more comfortable in that room without a cape. So it's a little tiny bit slower, but I'm sure for him a lot easier and safer. Oth, I think you're just swell if you're listening. So now Oth is going to try to go for this clip here. Again, kind of the same clip we saw earlier in Vanilla Dome 2. Actually does give you a chance to kind of do it on the left and the right side. Looks like Oth, unfortunately gets subpixeled there, but does get in the third try. Not too shabby. You see Silverstar wrapping up. I didn't see exactly what the whistle time was, but it looks like it's about a 1.5 to 2 minute lead for Oth. Moving into Forest of Illusion here. So Oth grabbing the secret exit, going to be moving into the Blue Switch Palace. His last chance at a Yump. Will he redeem himself? And we see no Yumps for our boy authorblues. Silverstar grabbing his Yoshi. I think he might go for FOI 1 wings. I believe that's a strat he's comfortable with. Oh, and he actually stomps the shell, unfortunately, so not going to be able to get that dupe. So Oth moving back into FOI 1, going to do the other exit here. Clear out the Ghost House exits, and then go back into FOI 2. This routing is done basically to get another Yoshi so that you can clip Forest Evolution 2 both times, as it's much, much faster to do the clips than it is to actually go through the stages. So, listen, I just said that he was gonna go for it. Oh, you said, yeah, he said he was gonna get a first try. Okay, yeah. So we can all blame Ben for that one. So Silverstar, ooh, looked a little shimmy shake to get that second try clip. Very nice. That was a little spoopy, I gotta be honest. I was a little scared. I'm sure Silverstar wasn't, though. He's a confident man. But off flying to the second door out of Forest Ghost House. Picking up the moon. And we've got our last chance at a jump from anybody here with Silverstar moving into blue switch. So now off with his second try here. Hey, we see a jump! Silverstar has done it. And we see a first try clip there for Oth. Very nice. So I do want to mention, it's actually very, very scary to kind of swim back up and grab that block. Obviously, you can see that Oth is swimming a lot faster, but you come very, very close to actually swimming back up and inbounds when you do that. So both runners taking it a little precautiously as they grab in that block in order to not clip back up inbounds. But we see Oth just swimming up just in time to not fall down and die at the end of FOI 2. As Silverstar wraps up FOI 1 secret. Yeah, I do want to remind everybody, every jump you get takes an hour off your final time, so Silverstar's up by about an hour now. See, authorblues going for Dirty Bubble and gets it. Another one of those tight windows to take off. I think that one's about 5 or 6 frames, so it's pretty much free, basically. Silverstar also gonna wrap up and grab the moon in Forest Ghost House. Yeah, really good pace from Silverstar. Hasn't even actually begun to count timing on his run yet. But Oth has kind of maintained this 3-ish stage lead, 2 to 3-ish stage lead, moving through Forest Illusion. Both runners have had little mistakes here and there, little time gains, little time losses. You see Silverstar gonna go for this second try clip again. Wow, get that shimmy shake, man. It's crazy. Silverstar doesn't even care that the urchin's coming up. He's gonna do it anyways. See, we see Silverstar having a little trouble, but does grab that block and doesn't go back inbounds, so definitely worth it. A little scary, but he got through it. See, Oth has wrapped up his other exit in Forest Ghost House. That's going to take him over to Forest of Illusion 4. I think this one's 4. Yeah, this one's 4. The numbers in this stage are a little weird. They're kind of all over the place. This world is kind of meant to, since it's called the Forest of Illusion, kind of trick you into not really figuring out the correct way out of it. So routing in this world is very, very interesting, kind of in how you move around the overworld and whatnot. It's pretty fun. And we see another Dirty Bubble from Silverstar. His Oth wraps up Forest Illusion 4 Secret. We're moving on to Forest Secret Area. Able to get the takeoff. This is a stage that kind of it wants you to ride across those 2 platforms as they move up and down, kind of turning it into an auto-scroller, but if you get your flight speed, you can just fly over it nice and easy. So now off moving into Forest Fortress. Probably one of the more difficult stages in this world. Lots of things can go wrong very quickly. But it's a very fun stage to watch when it's done well. This first room is an auto-scroller, so it's a bit boring, but the second room is definitely a lot of fun to watch. We see Silverstar unable to keep his flight speed, gonna have to rebuild it there, so a little hiccup there, but rebuilds it just fine. He'll be into the door and he'll be out. promise you this is probably the last auto-scroller we'll see. Not going to confirm it. They could always go in the front door and take whatever door that is that's an auto-scroller, but I'm going to say more than likely this is the last auto-scroller we'll see. Is it door 1 is the auto-scroller? I can never remember. Alright, so fighting our boy Team Reznor again. A couple of fireballs that were a little bit sketchy, but not too bad. I never took door 1. I was a door 3 main, honestly. Had a cape, had a 1-up. Like, imagine not taking door 3. So a couple more just flyover stages here, basically, to wrap up the bulk of Forest of Illusion. And we're moving on to Royfly. Door 8. I don't even remember what door I did in the second set of rooms. Probably not door 8. Might have been a door 5 guy. I think I was a door. I know it was door 3 main. I think I was a door 5 guy. Seven. Yeah, door 7 seemed to be a popular one too. That one was spoopy though. Door 7 was scary. You see another dirty bubble from our boy off. As Silver casually making his way through the last auto-scroller. Ooh, having a little bit of trouble with that flight speed. Luckily he's going to be able to get it back on the triangle there. So he should be able to recover from this and be just fine on his way here. Oh! Doesn't get the cape cancel. Does pick up that fire flower. And oh, he loses the fire flower as well. He's going to be going into Reznor small. Oh my goodness, Silverstar. Bobbing and weaving through the fireballs. If he would have died there, he would have lost a lot of time as he would have had to go back to the auto-scroller. Wow, really crazy stuff from Silverstar. As we see off of the very nice Royfly there. Ooh, unfortunately loses his cape there. Luckily there is one in this block right here. He's going to be careful just dodging those Potaboos, and he'll be having his fire flower for the Roy kill. I completely missed Auth's Royfly because I was busy like dying watching Silverstar on that Reznor fight. But looks like everything went just fine for Auth. So Silverstar wrapping up Forest of Illusion 4 normal, and then he's just got Forest of Illusion 3 secret before moving on to Roy. He re-enters Forest of Illusion 2, I think, just to grab an extra cape here. Yeah. Just for an added bit of safety. If you do mess up in Roy's, you do actually usually take a death, so... Yeah, it might have been an accident, but if it was, he made up for it by grabbing the cape, making it look like it was all intended. I see Auth actually going for a strat there. Going down into that pipe does lose you a little bit of time, obviously, but as you can see, when you shoot out of the pipe, you can maintain that very, very fast speed. And Auth getting 11 bonus stars. Swagging out. Neglects Unicape, unfortunately. You hate to see something like that happen. Silverstar with Royfly here, so kind of important that you kind of manage your cape pumps so you can get the dive right at the right time to kind of dodge those Potaboos. Very nicely done there from Silverstar. Oh, hits the spring, or hits the top there, cape cancels down, loses both of his capes. But looks like he's just going to keep going as Small Mario here. Let's see, off with a nice cape cancel off of the boo things. Okay, what are those called? The boo lines? And he able to make it out of Chocolate Ghost House. So off moving into Chocolate Island 2. This is kind of one of the more interesting stages in the game. Basically, the rooms you get are depending on a few different things in each, what happens in the room before that. So the first room, the amount of coins kind of decides what room you go into next. And then the second time, it's the timer on the clock. So if you get in before 249 on the timer, 250 or up, you'll go to the spot that takes you to the secret exit. So getting into that pipe with plenty of time making it to the secret exit. He'll be heading into Chocolate Secret now. And so Silverstar making his way through Chocolate Island 1 as Small Mario, looking honestly pretty comfortable with these strats. As mentioned, he's a pretty accomplished no cape, no Star World player. So while other runners may have troubles without their cape in some spots, looks like Silverstar pretty comfortable. Does grab a cape there. See if he grabs the cape from the spring here as well. Looks like he's just going to fly straight through. With some really tight cornering into this room. Chocolate Secret. Then there's a kind of fun little P-speed build here. Looks like he gets it nice and easily. So pretty solid Chocolate Secret from authorblues. Everybody forgetting about Unicape. Or do you mean the green switch cape? Or the green block cape? Unicape was like the meta for a long time. Ooh, Silverstar sneaking into that door. It's a nice little time save there. Ooh, doesn't quite get the bounce he wants, but good recovery there. Gets up there and is going to get out. So Oth has cleaned up Chocolate Secret. He's going to go back down in and go into Chocolate Island 2 and get the normal exit this time. So we see Oth kind of farming coins here. This is so he gets a different second room. And this room will give him a cape as a backup. There's no more bosses that you can kill with the fireballs quickly, so having two capes is kind of the thing you want. And he doesn't really lose any time here because he's got to wait for that timer to go down underneath 250. So spending that time to get the coins doesn't really lose you anything because you're waiting here anyways. So he's going to try to fly in as it hits 249 with speed and try to pipe fly into this next room. And looks like he gets it. Oh, it doesn't quite fly up high enough to bounce off of that dinosaur. Meanwhile, Silverstar with a really solid Chocolate Island Secret, and he's moving into Chocolate Secret now. So off moving into Chocolate Island 3. I think this is one of those stages that most people remember, because if you're a dumb kid like me, you got stuck on this stage quite a lot as a kid. There's two exits in this stage. One of them just kind of leads you back around in a circle, back towards Chocolate Island 3. The other one does move you forward. But this is another stage where the secret exit is just kind of placed behind the normal exit. You have to go past the normal exit to get to it. So faster to just get that normal exit first, kind of take the trip around, and then go back in and get the secret exit and keep going. Silverstar wrapping up pretty solid Chocolate Secret there. So Oth is still maintaining this 2 to 3 stage lead. Really both runners have been playing pretty solidly after some misadventures in Special World. Both have been playing pretty well. Shout outs to Stay Hydrated Bot. This one's for you, buddy. So we see Off flying over that goalpost, heading over to the secret goalpost. As Silverstar, ooh, actually loses his cape. Luckily enough, he's gonna get one here because he farmed the coins in the first room, but no backup cape. Not gonna be the worst thing in the world. There is a backup cape coming up fairly shortly, and hopefully he shouldn't run into any troubles in terms of losing that cape, but does add a little bit of pressure, I suppose. So off in Chocolate Fort here, this is one of the most difficult, this room right here, the pencil room, is very difficult. Those pencils just like to, for some reason, just kind of suck you into them for no reason. So maintaining your speed there to get through that first room is very, very difficult. In the second room as well, kind of have to navigate the thwomps and the thwimps, kind of use some really fancy cape canceling and P-speed maneuvering to get through it quickly. It's a pretty solid job here from Off. And he's into yet another Reznor fight. Team Reznor. So we start making his way through Chocolate Island 3 now. We're also going to be moving down into Chocolate Island 4. This is a really fun stage. Lots of cool little spin fly techniques in this one. This is a really interesting stage. Kind of a, you know, it's technically a flyover because you're just flying the whole time, but the way you're doing it is very, very tricky. And very nicely done there from Off. You see Silverstar re-entering Chocolate Island 3. Dang, Truman's got $50 on this race ending in double forfeit. What's the odds on that, Truman? You getting like 8 to 1 on that? So Off grabbing a Yoshi here, and he's gonna use this pipe to kind of skip through part of the level. 96 to 1, the odds, dude. How can you not take that bet? So Off's gonna try to get P-speed here with this Yoshi, does get it, saves just a little bit of time. Being able to fly to the end there. Dang, the collusion in chat. I know we've seen Off, we've seen Silverstar both typing in. Are we gonna see the collusion here? The classic double forfeit. Off moving into Wendy's now. A little bit of trickiness here in this first section to skip past this first crusher, which actually allows you to get through this section in one cycle. Very nicely done by Off. You see Silverstar with a pretty solid first room in Chocolate Fortress 1. And able to keep his flight there in the second room as well. Off missing a door, because doors are difficult. And then this room as well in Wendy. A lot of maneuvering with your spin flying and then the normal flying and doing all sorts of craziness. We see Silverstar losing a cape there in the Reznor fight. But looks like he's out of Chocolate Fortress. And Off wrapping up a Wendy kill. Silverstar making his way through Chocolate Island 4. Some really nice spin flies here. Really solid level there from Silverstar. Alright, Off is about to enter into the Sunken Ghost Ship, which has a slightly different ending condition compared to a lot of the other stages in this run. Instead of a goalpost or a boss to kill, you actually just collect an orb at the very end. Oh, we see Silverstar actually losing his Yoshi. That's going to come into play here in this room, as you see Off kind of taking hits off of these Yoshis. He's actually using this to set up, hopefully set up these spawning and despawning boos so that it will despawn one of these rings later on. So Silverstar going back to grab Yoshi. Did he grab that Yoshi? He did grab that Yoshi. Okay, it looked like he was like just barely on it. I see Oth going for the scroll method. Unfortunately, doesn't despawn any of the boo rings. But so he's gonna have to kind of wait on these to swim through them. Silverstar with a nice crusher skip there. So Oth is actually going to eat one of these Koopas and take some out in order to kind of kill the lag. There's a lot of lag on this screen if you kind of don't manage it properly.
Orb.
Silverstar wrapping up the Wendy fight, and he'll be moving on. Oth was basically a sunken ghost ship lead at this point. But Oth moving into Valley of Bowser now. Some really fun and interesting stages. Lots of craziness can happen in this world. That's a really good ending to the run, honestly. Lots of tough stages, lots of fun stages as well. So Silverstar going to just grab that backup cape there, so very, very small time loss to get that cape, so not really that bad of a thing here. As Oth moving into Valley Bowser 2. Overshoots that a little bit, but able to get his flight speed back. And he's just going to take this Yoshi to these Yoshi wings here. Use that for the normal exit. Don't worry, he'll come back to the secret exit, I promise. But moving into Valley of Bowser Ghost House here, there's actually two exits in this one. We'll see the secret exit first, and then the normal exit shortly after that. Ooh, a nice door fly there from Oth into that second room. We'll see how he gets into this little hole here. Oh, very nice. Really well done there. As Silverstar making his way down, about to collect the sunken ghost ship end.
Orb.
So Oth moving through, taking the third door to get the normal exit of Valley of Bowser Ghost House. I liked the swag from Silverstar there, spitting out the Yoshi tongue as he grabs the orb. Respect it. I respect it. Alright, Oth entering the best stage in the game, Valley of Bowser 3. It's the best stage in the game because I say it is, and anybody who tells you otherwise is wrong. Don't worry about it. But just using a lot of Yoshi flies here to kind of jump on those timed platforms and get off of them really quickly. Very clean Valley of Bowser 3 there from Oth. Spits the spring out for good luck at the end there. Pretty solid Valley Bowser 1 for Silverstar. I've been moving into Valley Bowser 2 as Oth heads into Valley Bowser 4. This is a stage where keeping a Yoshi very, very important. It's actually required for you to have a Yoshi in order to grab the key to take to the keyhole at the very end of the stage. So, brutally important that you keep your Yoshi here in this first trip through. Oth losing his speed there for a little bit, but gets it back, so he's going to be kind of right back in that comfort zone. Looks like he's doing just fine to keep his Yoshi and get that secret exit. See Silverstar, ooh, also with a nice door fly. See how easily he can get in here. Doesn't get quite in, but does catch that lip so he can slide in. So solid ghost house secret exit for him. Those seeds were totally there the entire race. I saw them. So saying goodbye to Yoshi as he wraps up Valley of Bowser 4. Silverstar has finished off both of the Valley Ghost House exits, moving on to the best level in the game, Valley Bowser 3. And while off working on his Larry Fly. Very nicely done there. Moving into the second room. This is a room that can cause a lot of trouble. You've got to navigate through some pencils, you got to navigate through some spinning blocks, and you've got Magic Koopa just wherever Magic Koopa wants to be, trying to mess you up. While scrolling the screen over there to kind of get those pencils lined up, Magic Koopa just getting in the way both times because he's a great enemy. Off loses his cape, but he's going to be able to pick one up right here at the end. So he'll have 2 capes as he moves into the Larry fight. Meanwhile, Silverstar wrapping up the best stage in the game, Valley Bowser 3, moving on to Valley Bowser 4. Truman, alright, listen, that's bullying. There's no bullying allowed. I'm on commentary. I can say whatever the best level is, and I'm saying it's Valley Bowser 3. So Silverstar we see actually going into... Or, I'm sorry, no, I'm looking at the wrong screen there. My bad. Off heading back into Valley Bowser 2. Gonna get the secret exit now. Just a few more stages left. This race is almost coming to a close here. We'll see if Oth decides to go for the old sandbar. Looks like he's potentially setting up for it here. And... oh, slides past it. That's okay. You know, if you're going to miss sandbar, miss it that way. So you can actually clip into there, but it's a frame-perfect trick, and if you miss it, you get crushed and die, like an idiot. But it does save a cycle in this auto-scrolling section. Yo, my boy Aaron, Team Reznor, let's go. Oh, we see Silverstar actually cape canceling into this. Okay, he saved it though. He can get back onto the left here, kind of reset, and avoid the death at least. Good looking out from Silverstar. Lots of good recovery here. Whoa, Andy Tina X is here. Big fan. So many people here. All the stars are here. Smart Ball's here. Oh my gosh, everybody. Nice little early scroll there from Silverstar. Oh, gets hit by the pencil. He's going to be able to grab this cape and then grab the one here at the end. So he'll have 2 capes. No big deal. Off moving into Valley Fortress here. There's a little bit of a screen scroll at the beginning in order to set up those crushers in a way he likes, and he's going to try to keep his P-speed this entire time, just kind of wiggling back and forth to keep it maintained throughout this entire section with these crushers. He's almost there. Ooh, he gets really close. Oh, gets hit by the Podoboo. Just decides to bail. That's a good call there. You don't want to try and go back for your cape. You'll probably end up dead. Having a tricky Reznor fight, but looks like he's out. As Silverstar has wrapped up Larry's. So Oth's going to be rolling into Bowser's Castle small. That will lose him a bit of time on the kill, but overall, pretty solid run from Oth, honestly. Be interested to see what he thinks after this. I'm just some idiot, so I mean, I think everything's good. I think everybody's doing really, really well. Silverstar looks like he's setting up for Sandbar here. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Does get crushed. See if he's going to go for it again here, or if it decides just to take it. Gets it second try. Very nice. So yeah, you can see how much time that saves by him being able to just run through that whole section versus having to wait. So it is definitely a good time save. Oh, gets another little cheeky skip there. Imagine having fun while playing SMW. Meanwhile, Auth's going to go for the ball skip. Named that way because you skip one of the balls. It's crazy, I know. Really original name. But he's going to try to hit Bowser right before he kind of stops to drop that second ball in this phase. And if he does it right, Bowser will go straight to dropping the Mecha Koopas. And takes a hit, but I think he got the right timing there. I see Silverstar with a little bit of trouble, but does get through the crushers here. Let's see if he can maintain his P-speed in Valley Fortress here. As Alt did, in fact, skip the ball. Alt a mere 2 hits on Bowser away from victory. Silverstar with another kind of sketchy Reznor fight here. So many fireballs from Reznor. Ooh, off missing that first Mecha Koopa. That's okay, though. He's got another one. And he's done it. authorblues is finished with a 126.37. RaceBot also has him at a 126.37. GG to authorblues. Moving on. See Silverstar entering into Bowser's castle now. He does have a cape, so he might be able to do the kind of faster cape kill strats here. So it looks like Silverstar opting not to do the cape kill strats here. Just gonna have a nice casual Bowser fight. I think we are joined by authorblues. Hello.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, congratulations on your victory.
Yeah, I accidentally played okay.
You hate to see that kind of thing happen.
Yeah, I mean, my best run previous to this, I mean, for my D-Rust was a 127.50 something, so...
Yeah, so very, very nice. So talk about the run. What were some of the highlights, some of the lowlights? What do you think really stood out for you?
I kind of decided on a whim that I wanted to do the extra exit in World 2, and I was really amused by how many people were thinking that I made a mistake, but I mean, I can understand why. It just, it seemed like an obvious choice to me at the time, in case I wanted to go back for like a Yoshi or something. We
see Silverstar wrapping up with a 128.58 GG to him. Yeah, I was at first thought maybe you were just doing the early wings route, or maybe you just had accidentally re-entered the stage. But then, yeah, when you mentioned in chat that you're like, it's a faster way back to TSA, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call. I like
There were a few. So I did a lot of my derusting today. Like just during the day, I was trying to brush up on some stages I had forgotten, and I think ultimately, the reason why I won that race is because I played a lot more conservatively. I wasn't willing to go for stuff that I was out of practice with. So I fell on old school strats.
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, you executed really well. I don't remember a whole lot of. You hate to see that happen. I had them ready. I had them locked and loaded, but didn't have to say it too many times. So I think a solid run overall.
The only one that I think got me was I jumped before the Podoboos instead of after them at the end of Roy's, and
yeah,
I don't know why. It was just like my brain stopped for a second. I knew I needed to jump early to get the right spin fly, but I jumped like before the Podoboos instead of after them. So fortunately, that stage has a cape in it, and that fixed my problem. Also, the mix-up in Soda Lake was...
Oh, yeah.
That sucked, but I feel like ultimately I was able to put it back together pretty quick.
Yeah, you recovered pretty all right. That was a tricky spot to lose both your power-ups, but I think you kind of recovered nicely. I think we are also joined by Silverstar. Hello?
Yo.
Perhaps?
Yeah, I saw his face light up, but not sure if his mic's working or not.
Well, we're sorting that out. Oh, hi. Hi, Silverstar. Welcome.
Hey.
If it makes you feel any better, I attempted every single yump.
That's true. We had one yump. We had one yump from both of you. I'm pretty disappointed in that, honestly. But GG Silverstar, any specific spots you kind of want to talk about in your run? Highlights or lowlights?
I was just going to say, I bet you probably had a field day commentating my race, my run, because I went for everything.
There was a few really crazy, like both of your Yoshi clips in FOI2, you just kind of like wiggle, shimmy shammed around the urchin, didn't even care for that second try. Reznor fights were entertaining at times, just like a lot of craziness I saw over on your end, so it was really, really fun to watch.
From the sounds of it, you got a lot more aggressive Reznor fights than I did. Mine mostly went really smoothly.
I think at one point, Silverstar, you like jumped as Small Mario in between two fireballs going over to get to the second Reznor, and I like peed my pants a little bit, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
That was an awesome race.
Anytime I could just go for it, I just went for it.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
Well, one thing I did want to comment about myself was I didn't expect to die like that in Star World 5.
Oh yeah, you just didn't quite get up high enough and then fell after getting the exit. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate.
What happened in Star World 5?
I flew under Star World 5 and ended up dying for the first time since I even started trying to do it.
Yeah, I had to play pretty conservatively because I was getting nervous a few times. I was like, oh no, I'm coming up on a stage I don't remember.
Well, Silverstar, this is unfortunately the end of the road for you. Are you planning on sticking with 96 for a little bit, or maybe jumping over to something else? What kind of are your plans moving ahead?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to stick with 96. I can only get better from here. This was my first sub 130 since coming back, so I have not been doing too well, and I'd rather, at least get some decent runs before I, try to look at something else.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think looking from some of the stuff you're going for a lot of the really, really cool little fast tricks. So yeah, if you put a run together, I think you could definitely bring your time down quite a bit. So good luck to you in that. authorblues, you'll be moving on to face the #1 seed of the bracket and world record holder, Louis. Any plans for your preparation for that match?
Yeah, I might show up.
Yeah. Might play the video game, maybe.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? I'm gonna take down the guy who's about to get a 121?
Yeah, man. Just throw it out there. The only thing that could happen is you're wrong, and everybody makes fun of you for it.
Louis has to arrive late to the race. That's That's my option.
give you like a 3-4 minute head start, and you'll see what happens. But yeah, GG's to both of you guys. It was a fun race to watch. I think we're getting kicked out of here as soon as possible because we've got another race starting off in about 5 minutes between Area 51 and Waldo. So
Nice.
that's gonna be another good one. So I mean, if you're watching in the chat and you're like, man, where do I go now that this race is over? Don't go anywhere. Don't just stay right here.
You're already there.
You're where you want to be. I can promise you that. But yeah, thanks to Auth and Silverstar. Thanks to Matthew for the restream. And thanks again to Speedrunners League for hosting a lot of the races here on this tournament. And one big shout out to Ben for organizing all of this.
Sure, I'll grant a file check. I'll let you look at my 95.
Oh, we're getting the file checks? Okay, hold on. We'll stay for the file checks.
$96.
Nice.
Big mood.
You guys didn't mess up.
Well,
right.
I'll let you guys hop over to Aaron and Waldo.
All right.
I got my money on one of them.
Yeah, I think one of them's gonna complete the video game faster than the other.
Definitely.
So I'm not sure who is jumping in later, guys. I'm not sure who's jumping in, but I'll hang out for a minute while we are waiting for them to jump in.
Well, I'll pop out. See you guys later.
Bye.
Glib, that was pretty awesome. That's a really good race.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
We're just waiting for a couple of people to go live, and by a couple of people, I mean one person. Then we're going to get switched over. But yeah, that was a great race. Thank you so much for commentating, and thanks again to Matthew for the restream.
No problem.
I'm just going to get set up with the title and all the commands and different things, but yeah, good job again. Thank you.